Manchester United fans, welcome to Dan United. We got stuff to talk about tonight. Zirkzee, Ugarte, are they off? But first, yes. All go. All systems go at Manchester United. We are linked with everybody. We're going to get so many players in. What a load of rubbish. Manchester United looking more and more likely, more increasing, that they are willing to finish this season, January, with no transfers. Now, look, we can look at it a lot of ways. We can try and be hopeful. And do you know something? God love us all. God love us Manchester United fans, because a bit of positivity, and we are all feeling that anything can happen. And anything could happen on that pitch. We could absolutely go on a run that sees us get Champions League. But one thing I think we need to pump the brakes on is any positivity in thinking that this ownership is going to provide Michael Carrick with a couple of tools to the end of the season. And I'm not talking about a player calling a player a tool. I'm talking about the tools to go out there and secure Champions League football. Now, look, it's a bizarre one, because we've seen the news over the past 24 hours. Zirkzee, Juventus, that's looking more and more likely. I know Juventus were looking at Mateta. They now look at Zirkzee as being a replacement to go there. Zirkzee himself is open to it. Manchester United are apparently more open to it than they were a couple of weeks ago. It's all changed. Ugarte's been linked with Galatasaray. He's been linked with so many clubs in Turkey. I'm surprised he's not going over there to get his teeth done. It's that much. And it leaves the question, if Manchester United are willing to let these two players go, what state does that leave Manchester United in going into the rest of the season? Now, we've already seen that with Dorgu being injured now for 10 weeks, it's looking like, with his hamstring, that I think it's thrown a bit of a cat amongst the pigeons, because, yes, Cunha has done very well coming off the bench. I've got to be honest, he was fantastic when he come off the bench against Arsenal, not just for the goal, but for what he did, holding the ball, pulling the ball up the pitch, bringing players into the game. But I kind of worry here. We've seen two sides of Cunha. We've seen the Cunha that can come and change games. We've seen the Cunha that scores fantastic goals. We've also witnessed the Cunha that doesn't run back. We've also witnessed the Cunha that gives away the ball. So I feel like I'm a bit worried here going into the remainder of the season. 10 weeks. What does that take us to, chat? Where's my calendar? Oh, my phone's in there. Where's my calendar? Let's have a look. Calendar. It won't even let me see it. But here we go. Calendar. So, what are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It takes us to the middle of bloody April. So, essentially, Dorgu is missing. I mean, let's be honest. We don't have many fucking games, do we? Right, of every cup. But missing him, that is going to be big for Manchester United, because let's face facts here. Since playing in a more advanced role, Dorgu has looked a different player. Now, that to me would say, yes, we've got Shea Lacey, but Shea Lacey's only made a couple of appearances. I will go through the chats. Don't worry, I will go through the chats. Shea Lacey has only made a couple of appearances. For us to expect that this lad is going to come in and do bits week in, week out, because he will get minutes now, he will, I think is ridiculous to say so. Mount could possibly benefit from this. We've seen Mason Mount come on the left and come on the right. We've seen that before. I just worry now. Manchester United should absolutely, with what is, I think, 4 days left of this transfer window, should be looking at bringing in at least one reinforcement. Look, we wanted the midfield. We absolutely craved a central midfielder to come in and do something, but I don't think we're getting that. But wouldn't it make sense out there to go out and try and bring someone in on loan at least to lighten the load? Let's go through some of the comments. Good evening, Anthony. Hope you are well, my friend. It's good to see you. He says, who and who? Forgot them already. I love that. Evening, ladies and gents. Good to see you, Danny boy. Yes, absolutely, mate. 100%. Jamie says, evening, Dan and everyone. Hope you are well. Hopefully we go big in Jan. I hate to break it to you, Jamie. We ain't going big in Jan. I mean, they are going to literally say it to us. You know what's going to happen. I don't have a lot of time for Goldbridge. You know this. But what I will say about what Goldbridge says, he's bang on the money when he says that the second this transfer window shuts, It will be Spin City. It will be Spin a Rooney. They will be saying Manchester United are going big in the summer. They will release it to the people, the journalists that work in amongst the club. You won't be, honestly, you would be shocked at the players that are going to be linked with Manchester United in the summer. That is how they will spin it. They are literally Bon Jovi at the moment. They are living on a wing and a prayer that Manchester United can get Champions League football without spending money. But they're also potentially going to do an even more insane thing, which is send Zirkzee away, which, look, Zirkzee, I'm not his biggest fan, but when we've got a squad as small as ours, regardless of the fact it's only Premier League games, I think you keep someone like him until the end of the season if you're not bringing anybody in. And Ugarte now, look, let's look at it this way. Collier's gone on loan to Hull, I believe. Is it Hull? I think he's gone on loan to Hull, so that's another midfielder gone. Kone is on holiday in Switzerland. He's doing trials, whatever. Manchester United's squad is paper thin. And let's not forget right now, the good times are back at the moment. We are all buzzing. We are buzzing at the way that we performed against Arsenal. We are buzzing at the way we performed against City. But if Casemiro gets injured, we're screwed. Yes, Ugarte, if he stays, is the person that would go in there. The thought of Ugarte starting in midfield for Manchester United, regardless of the fact we're at 4-2-3-1, terrifies me. If Brian gets injured, if Sesko gets injured, if Ahmad gets injured, our squad goes weird, man. Our squad goes weird. Defence, I think we're all set there now. De Ligt is not far away. But I just think Manchester United, it could be a deadline day bonanza, okay? Come deadline day, Manchester United could all of a sudden, we could be tracking aeroplanes and going, oh my God, let's track players from Germany. We could. But at the moment, I think for us as a club to be looking at willing to allow Zirkzee to go out, to be willing to allow Ugarte to go out, you're one of two things. You've either got an ace up the sleeve that you're going to bring in, or, pardon my French, you are plain fucking stupid. And at the moment, have INEOS give us any reason to doubt that they are indeed fucking stupid? No, they've not given us one reason. They've given us tons of reasons. So Manchester United here are at the moment at the poker table. They're at the craps table, whatever table. They're at the roulette table. And at the moment, they are betting all of their chips on red. That's what they're doing. And they're hoping to God that they get to see out the end of the season with the same squad. And I don't see how that's a possible thing, by the way, and not have to spend a penny in January. Now, look, we were linked with Semenyo. That was a thing, okay? Semenyo for 60 million. That was a thing we were looking at. And somebody made a comment in the live chat when we were doing the game, and it was a great comment. Imagine Semenyo in this formation. It would have been great. But here's the thing. As a club, you cannot just dangle that money that you were going to use for Semenyo just to go into January and say, do you know what, actually, Baraji, you got your wallet. Wilcox, have you got your wallet? Sir Jim, oh, he's shaking in the corner like a shitting dog. Forget about him. There is no way that we can genuinely think that we can go through this without spending a penny. I've said it before. We have got too much to do in the summer. If we get Champions League football, I was with LB on Wednesday. And we said the same thing. You cannot expect to go into the summer and do another squad overhaul and think that you are going to be ready for Champions League. So there's a lot to talk about with this. And I'll be honest with you, I'm furious about it. Anthony says, we already know what we're getting with Zirkzee and Ugarte. We'd rather let them go and give Lacey or the Fletchers a run. Lacey, absolutely. Anthony, I've got no concerns with Lacey. I want Lacey to get minutes. I don't think he's the person that we pin our hopes on. I don't think it would be fair to the kid. But I'll be honest with you, the Fletchers, do they really... And I'm not bad-mouthing them. I'm not saying they're rubbish, but do you really want to pin your hopes on two young lads in the midfield, in a midfield that is basically an engine? Because, look, the last thing we want to happen is see that we have to line up with Fernandes and Mainu midfield. That won't work. It just won't work. It won't. They will be absolutely ploughed through. If anything happens to Mainu, man, we're screwed. But look, the Fletchers, I think they've got potential, but this would be far too quick to give it to them. Jamie says, evening, Dan. Hope you're well. And yeah, I don't think we'll do anything big till the summer. It hurts. It feels ridiculous. Chappie says, hello, everyone. Losing players without replacing, of course, makes us weaker. It absolutely does. Imagine. I wouldn't put it past this ownership, Dan. I would not put it past us. Other option without Dorgu is Ben up top and drop Brian a little bit. There is that. But again, how many times this season have we seen Brian or Ahmad playing on the left? Ahmad, a couple of times, he's looked okay there. I kind of wonder if they're sticking with the Brian up top situation and Big Ben will get in there when he can. Not sure. Carl says, evening all, I've seen a couple of things saying we could do something very, very late on. Do you know something? I tell you, I have my Twitter. What noise was that? I have my Twitter on all the time at the moment, and I'm constantly checking. I am constantly checking to see if there is anything. But there is nothing. And what really frustrates me is when you've got fucking Bournemouth, who are out there spending money. Nottingham Forest are spending loads of money. They're trying to bring everybody in before deadline day. Spurs spending money. Do you know what I mean? These clubs that you would say aren't really looking to challenge for a European place. I mean, look, let's be honest. Forest are literally trying to stay in the league at the moment. But West Ham are spending money. But surely it makes more sense for Manchester United to spend money to strengthen Champions League. Let's not forget how much Champions League is worth to Manchester United. Let's not forget long-term what that does to Manchester United. Match days. Money for being in the competition. Money for qualifying for the competition. When you're budgeting to go on holiday, right? When you're budgeting to go on holiday and you go, right, okay, we're all inclusive. We'll take 500 quid for the week. We'll take 500. We're not going to spend it, but we'll take it because what we'll do is we'll eat breakfast, dinner, tea, and snacks at the hotel. We've got our drinks there, and we've got that 500 if we want to go for a couple of drinks one night. We want to go for cocktails. Mrs. Robinson's feeling cheeky. She wants a cheeky cocktail, a cheeky Vimto. Oh, if you know. Dan Wall, you definitely know what cheeky Vimtos are, mate. I've seen you drink them. That's budgeting, yeah? This isn't budgeting. This is ludicrous. Because at Manchester United for the Champions League, we haven't got breakfast, dinner, and fucking lunch and tea to fucking fall back on. All we've got to fall back on is that we hope the league stays as inconsistent as it has, and Michael Carrick and Steve Holland, who I want to talk about in a minute, keep doing their thing. Keep this brilliant, beautiful way we're playing football at the moment going. But if you ask me as a Manchester United fan, do I think we have enough, regardless of the fact we've only got 15 games left, to see us through to Champions League? On paper, I'd say yes. But the Premier League is a mean beast. A couple more injuries, and we are in trouble. So Manchester United, INEOS, they need to sort it out. Anthony says, better to put Harry Arnott. You'll die on this sword, you will. Then Zirkzee. I actually agree with that. I'd rather see Chida Obi on the bench and a young midfield option instead of them two, but that's my opinion. And that's fair enough. Look, Carl, I agree with the Chida Obi one. I agree with that. Chida Obi, let's get him on the bench. Let's see if we can get him some minutes. He's scored a few goals now in the youth games again. He looks like he's hitting form with that. But the midfield in the Premier League, I don't think in that engine room you can rely on a young midfield to do that. I genuinely don't. Big up, Dan. Good to see you, Abraham. Hope you're well. He says, I really want the Glazers and INEOS out, mate. I'm with you on that. I'm absolutely with you on that. I would do, God, I'd do unspeakable things to get rid of them from this club. Carl says, just remember, do we have one other player who can play a defensive midfield behind Casemiro? If you know, you know. Carl's wanting fucking the butcher back in midfield. Carl, we've had those days. We've lived those days. Don't be sad it's not happening again. Be happy it happened. Jamie says, I'd be happy buying a Ruben Neves for midfield and maybe push Mainu further forward. Ruben Neves is going around Madrid on a free now. We've absolutely missed the boat on that. Manchester United at the start of January should have gone in there and laid their potential down and said, Ruben, you're coming to United. They didn't. We are now on the 29th of January. Still no signings in. The only signing that we've made is an under-21 coach. From a board and business point of view, you can understand not getting any players until you know the manager is, but I would like to see signings. I just can't see it making sense from a business side. So why don't you bring him on loan, Anthony? When I put the video about Douglas Luiz, a few of you were like, he's injury prone, he's this, he's that. Douglas Luiz as an option off the bench is far better than Ndidi, is far better than Jack Fletcher, is far better than Tyler Fletcher, is far better than Ugarte. That deal was there to be done. I don't care what anyone says. If he had the opportunity to go to Manchester United, he would have took it. He absolutely would. He's friends with Cunha. He's friends with Casemiro, that Brazilian contingent. He would have absolutely legged it to United. But another situation where we didn't get the job done. That's a loan deal. You could have done the usual, yeah, we may sign him at the end of the season. But here's the thing. He does well. We sign him in the summer. There is squad depth. It makes me so angry. Not what you saying about not wanting him, but the fact that these free hits are there to be taken. And United just seem ridiculously naive and allergic to doing it. Unless it's someone they can make money on, i.e. another Lemmy, fair. Wicked and a cheeky Smirnoff Ice at Liquid on a student night down. Mate, I'm telling you, student night at Liquid. Oh, my days. Oh, my days. I used to straw pedo. I say it's quietly because Mrs. Robinson's downstairs. I used to straw pedo bottles of rosé on those student nights. They were a £5 from the hole in the wall, a pub in Shrewsbury. If you know, you know. And it would, oh, God, £5, nail that. 15 quid left to get into Liquid and spend 99p on God, those were the days, man. Dan, do you remember when I used to DJ at the bedroom, by the way? I used to be a DJ. Imagine me, a DJ. Auntie says, I'm sure Carl can think of a midfield setup and we have proof it works. I'm not even going to answer that. I'm not even going to answer it. Chappie says, didn't Alan Hansen say we won't win anything with kids? He did, but that was off the back of us being title winners. That was off the back of us still having the likes of Cantona, Dennis Irwin, Roy Keane, Peter Schmeichel, Steve Bruce. That was off the back of that. This Manchester United side doesn't have characters and leaders to be able to bring them in. And if results go bad, you think about it now, right? If Shea Lacey, when he got the red card against Brighton, yeah? After that game, he'd have had Casemiro that would have gone up to and said, mate, I've been there. Don't worry about it. Bruno would have been screaming and shouting at the refs, this, that, and the other, kind of like me. Luke Shaw, you could sort of say. But when you look at the stature that the class of 92 had when they were that baptism of fire against Aston Villa, you look at the personnel they went back into the changing room, the manager they went back into the changing room with. It's a different time, Chappie, but I get what you're saying. I get it, but it's different time. Ben, good. I was going to message you, Ben, Wednesday. No, it was yesterday. I was going to message you, but I couldn't find you. I remember that well. Boy, didn't he get that wrong. Jack Cider, £5 at Monty's. They don't do Jack Cider anymore, do they? I don't think they do Jack Cider anymore. Still Torpedo Rosie on the South Costa. Mate, Lawrence, I'm waiting for the invite. Open invite. You get us there, I'll torpedo it in front of you. Blanca, though, we have no European nights to partake in this spring. Yeah, well, that's true. Maguire R9 and Sesko up front. Cross. Did anybody else get giddy at the site on Sunday? Was it Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday. On Sunday, when Maguire picked the ball up and started going down the wing, I was like, woo. Honestly, man, I don't think I'll ever not enjoy Harry Maguire running up that wing with the ball. It's incredible. Now, I wanted to talk to you about Steve Holland. Okay, Steve Holland. I don't think enough is being discussed about Steve Holland. And we speak about Michael Carrick and we say Michael Carrick's done this incredible job. He's been he's turned the players around. He's playing them in a formation that works. The way we're playing, I don't think enough is being spoken about Steve Holland and the job he does. Now, it was noted that after the Arsenal game, on the way back on the bus, he was already rewatching the game back. He was already rewatching. He was looking and going, I know what I need to do now for us to beat Fulham. When the players had a day off, Steve Holland and the management group, by the way, were at Carrington, already planning their attack when it comes to Fulham. Now, let's not forget Fulham this weekend. We drew against them at Fulham. Bruno missed the penalty. That was hard to take. I am fully expecting a different Manchester United, and I think Fulham will be expecting that too. Now, let's not forget, Fulham are higher up in the table than they were at the start of the season. I think they're 7th now. There are no easy games in the Premier League, but coming off the back of those 2 results, you'd like to think that those players are feeling invincible. Now, the thing I don't want to take the shine away here is, if we're looking at transfers, let's not do the stupid thing here and wait until the Fulham game, and if we lose, go, right, okay, we need to bring someone in. Let's do that all now. But I've got to say, Steve Holland, honestly, I mean, this guy takes control of the training sessions. He's been putting more intense things in there. He is a Manchester United fan as well. I don't think, and you know something, actually, let me rephrase this. I don't know if you all know this, but I cannot stand Jason Tindall, okay? I cannot stand Jason Tindall, the Newcastle United assistant manager. He fries my fucking head. When I have to see him stood there on the side of the pitch with those bleached white teeth, and he's always trying to get involved. Whenever the full-time fucking handshake's there, he's there. I hate it. I hate assistant managers and I hate coaches that try and be at the forefront of everything. Almost like, yeah, look at me, look at me. Steve Holland, on the other hand, you watch from the sidelines. That guy does give orders. That guy is a big part of what we're doing here. But also, more importantly, that guy ain't trying to make headlines. That guy has come into Manchester United with Michael Carrick and has gone about his work. And you know something? I will say, and Ben, I like that comment, but that'll never happen. But what I will say is this, okay? If Michael Carrick is to get the job at the end of the season, the difference between Michael Carrick getting the job full-time and Ollie getting the job full-time is we can all see already the impact that having a coach like Steve Holland at your club brings to the squad. I've seen Roy Keane's already flip-flopped on where he was on Sunday. You know, Sunday's going, nah, he shouldn't get the job. He shouldn't get the job. On the overlap, yeah, if he does well, give him the job, blah, 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 blah. To succeed in football, to succeed as a manager, you have to have the right staff behind you. You have to. It's as simple as that. I think if these can grow into the job and if they do what they're doing and if they're given the reins, I will sleep a little better at night knowing that Steve Holland, already the job he's been doing behind the scenes, is a part of that management side. Let's go through some more of these comments. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. And make sure you smash a like. Jamie says, don't think it's bad when DeLitt is back to play next to Harry Maguire and put Ah! Oh, God! Danielle, they're doing it again. They're doing the whole bloody Martinez in CDM thing again. Huh? They're trying to put bloody Martinez in CDM again. One good game, honestly. Yeah, she said you've lost the plot, guys. She says you've all lost the plot. Simon, good to see you, mate. He says, good evening. Losing Ugarte, I'd be over the moon, but we need someone else in there. Carl says, simple solution is right in front of our eyes. If we get loads of injuries, Carrick becomes player manager. Fucking hell. Simon says, I'm hoping that Liverpool lose, and we beat Fulham. Then we are in top. We're up. Simon. Let me show you something, my guy. Let me show you something. Let me share this screen for you. Let me share. Do you believe in life after love? We don't need to work. We're already in top 4, bro. We're already in top 4. And more importantly, Liverpool this weekend, bless you, they're not playing Karabag again, who, I'll be honest with you, if I was a Liverpool fan at the moment, I'd be chanting, can we play you every week? They've got Newcastle. Now, Newcastle, yeah, maybe a bit dodgy away from home at the moment, but that is a bigger test. And then straight after that, the week after, they got Man City. And then straight after that, the week after that, they're away at Liverpool, at Sunderland. This month is going to be so important for Manchester United. I'll bring the fixtures back up for United. That's nah. We don't want Liverpool. We don't want. We're not talking. Liverpool, man. That's what we want to look at. That's what we want to look at. That is our February. Compare that to Liverpool. There is no reason why we can't be a few points ahead of them come the end of this month. There is no reason why we can't. So, top 4, we're already in it. It's up to us now to make sure that we don't have to rely on a top 5. That is Carrick's job now. Carrick's job until the end of the season, from now until the end of the season with Stevie Holland, is to make sure that we don't rely on that top 5 and to make sure we don't go into the last game of the season away at Brighton going, right, we need a result here. Carl says, if that happened, I'd be putting the lottery on that weekend. Absolutely. If they want a head coach and not a manager, Steve Holland would be a great shout for the full-time job going forward. Wouldn't work like that, though, would it? If they've done a good enough job, I see what you're saying, Ben. He's a great coach, but I think it'd be Carrick, wouldn't it? We always turn up against the top teams. We need to have the same mentality against every opponent. I agree. And you know something, Chappie? It's a great comment because this weekend, and we'll do the preview tomorrow, of course, with Kevin. He's at the pub tonight having a sing-song. This weekend is so much more important than art. This game is bigger than Arsenal. This game is bigger than City because, as Chappie has said there, we've got I think we're joint in the table against the top teams, like to play the top teams this season. I think technically Villa have played a game less against the top teams, whatever, but we're on 12 points. Against the top teams this season, we seem to have been able to pull out decent results. It's against the other teams that Manchester United have struggled. And this is where we are going to learn if these players have taken on board. Because exactly like I said after the City game, before the Arsenal game, I want to see the same intensity. I want to see the same effort. I want to see the same desire. I want to see the same never say die attitude. I want to see the same bombing down the wings, creating chance after chance after chance. I need to see all of that against Fulham. You need to see all that against Fulham. The players need to be a part of that. Right now, we are basking in the glory of our 2 big victories, but we could come back down to earth with a bump with the Fulham game. It is possible. I tell you what, look. Let me stop the vote a second. You're all saying no, by the way. It doesn't make us weaker. Let me put this in there as a poll. Are we more worried about Fulham than we were against Arsenal away? It's a valid question. Yes or no? Are we more worried about Fulham than we were about Arsenal away? I can't vote on my own poll. But if I could vote on my own poll, I would say yes. I would say yes. I absolutely would say yes. Ben, like the great Meatloaf. You took the words right out of my mouth. I'm more nervous for the Fulham game than I was for City and Arsenal. I think it's because we're expected to win this one. The lads have come off the back of two games where they have been expected to go there. And let's face it, the first game against City, we were expected to either just get a point or lose. Against Arsenal, the media, Paul Merson, no chance. No chance. They've no chance. They've got no chance. No chance. No chance. We were expected to get 0 by a lot of the pundits. In this game, this is where the media, ex-players, they're all doing it and now starting to go on the socials, go on the Overlap, go on Sky, go on BBC, go on the Great British fucking Bake Off. And they are all starting to say the same thing. Manchester United can get Champions League. Manchester United are looking good. This is where the players now have, let's be honest, they have that pressure now. They need to perform. They need to deliver. They need to be that guy on the scooter from Just Eat, always delivering. This is going to be a big test. Carl says, I have support for my tactical ideas, just like Steve Holland. I love you, Carl. You know that, brother. Simon says, I can't guarantee that Shaw won't pick up an injury. I can. And Kev's not in the chat, is he? That's all right. So Kev can't tell me off. He ain't getting injured. Simon, Luke Shaw ain't getting injured. Do you know why? It's World Cup year, baby. That guy is going to be fully fit until the end of the season. That guy on after the last day of the season is going to be in Tuchel's back garden doing the fucking bleep test to show that he's still fit. That is how sure I am. I can predict a win for Newcastle, win for City, and a win for Liverpool against Sunderland. Fair enough. I think Liverpool will draw against Newcastle. I was very impressed with Newcastle in spells last night against PSG. City, I mean, Liverpool City games are always interesting. I think City will have too much from though. That lad will have a fresh trim soon. Don't say that, Bet. Do you know something? Let's be honest. I'm gonna be brutally honest now. I can't wait for us to win 5 in a row. So that fucker has his haircut and he fucks off. Honestly, do you know what? Let's have it right. You probably get bored of me going Dan United, but I am so bored of day 374 of not cutting my hair until Manchester United win 5 games in a row. Day 300. Do you know what I mean? Okay, honestly, that guy is making so much money off us being shit. We talk about ex-players, right? Making money off us being crap so that they can go on their podcasts. That guy's made loads of money. That guy's done things in the world he would never have done. All because he was too skint to cut his fucking hair. Yeah? And then you see other people. Day 75 of my wife trying to do 10 kick-ups. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, God. This is what the internet does, man. This is what the internet does. I've been winding up City and Arsenal fans in my town, and they have admitted to me that we play better than them. That's good, Simon. Admitting it is always a good start. If Carrick gets the full-time job, Holland has to stay. Fear it would go to shit if he didn't. Absolutely agree with that, Ben. Ben, I think out of everything you've ever said, and you've been a fantastic part of the community for so long. Out of everything you've said, I could not. That has to. If anything, if it's agreed that Carrick's staying, the biggest signing until we look at players is keeping Stevie Holland on. I think in games like Fulham, etc., we will play Sesko as we won't be able to counter-attack in so much if they play deep. But it's an option, Carl, isn't it? And I agree with that. This is where we could potentially see that Mbeumo drops to the wing. Yeah, we could see that. We did. I think we started with a revolving 3 against Fulham, though, if I'm not mistaken, last time. Max says, yes, I think that means are we more work? Jesus Christ, guys, we're 100%. We are. We're doing a Sir Jim Ratcliffe. We're all shaking like shitting dogs at the thought of bloody playing Fulham away. Fulham at home, sorry. Dan says at work, so I'm off. Hopefully bump into you on Sunday. Dan, send me a message on Facebook, mate. I'll catch up with you. Hope you're well as well, bud. Yes, we can. Yes, we do. We do bottle it against smaller teams. Simon says we have unfinished business against Spurs. 4 games without a win for us. It's 5. I think it's 6 against them now, isn't it? Is it 6, including the draw this season and the Europa League last season? Yeah, we've got to smash Spurs. Like, I'm not even joking when I say this. Like, I love Deji. If you don't watch him, Deji Spurs, go and subscribe to him. He's a fantastic human being. I love Deji. But if I have to sit there and listen to Deji talk about our club being dusty because they've managed to pull a fucking result away, I'll lose my mind. We have to beat Fulham. We have to not just beat Spurs, we have to annihilate Spurs. I want us to annihilate Spurs so much that I watch Expressions doing his usual, oh my days, blood! Oh my days, blood! Roman Reigns with the finger in the air, I acknowledge you, blood. By the way, I'm a massive fan of him. It looks like I'm taking a piss. He is fucking hilarious. Go and check him out as well. We have to drop Spurs like a bad fucking habit. We have to beat them so hard that it looked like that they stole something from us. Okay? We have to. We absolutely have to. I want to see Expressions doing the, oh my days, blood. I want to see it. I need to see it. I need to see Deji freestyling on his channel. I just hope to God they keep Thomas Frank until then, man. Honestly, Thomas Frank, they need to keep him. Simon says we've had our unfinished business with Arsenal. We managed to get that back. And we have the World Cup with many key players from their respective countries. Please, we don't get any injuries. I'm gutted about Dorgu picking up that injury after the crackerjack goal, just when he is hitting form and getting goals. Look, I said this on my on my stream, on our stream. This is our community. It's not my stream. It's our stream. This is us. We're all the Brian Brigade. I said, and I love it when this happens. I said it, and then for the rest of the week, everyone was saying it. He reminded me so much of Bale, not the same player. I want to point that out. Bale went. Look, if Bale would have played for Real Madrid when Ronaldo wasn't in his pomp, Bale would have been a Real Madrid led. He won so much there. But what he reminded me of, the similarities to Bale, was Bale at Spurs at the start of his career there was pony. He was crap at left back. That wasn't his position. Harry Redknapp pushed him further up the pitch. The guy become world class. Dorgu, it is night and day. Night and day, the difference between him at left back and him at left wing. The guy is pure chaos. Pure and utter fucking chaos. So I am the same. I was devastated. And actually, who would have thought that we would be sitting here going, Dorgu's injured, man. That's how far he's come. Lest we talk about that fucking fraud who's sat in Portugal at the moment with fucking 15 million quid or whatever the exchange rate is with euros at the moment, the better. Because he brought him in and he ruined him. Dorgu was looking so much better. I saw this as well, Chappie. It pisses me off, that does. I agree with you, Matt. I was watching it. I was like, anyone will do anything for likes now. Sophie, Queen Sophie, I hope you are well. And as the Queen says, make sure you smash them likes. And if you are new, hit the subscribe button. Defeat for the Spuds would push Frank Spencer closer to the exit. Expressions is hilarious. I can't lie. AFC DMB, good to see you, mate. It just sounds exactly like Expressions. Mate, I love Expressions. I absolutely do. I love him. He's so funny. Like, I know as content creators, we do stuff for reactions, but his reactions, oh my God. Fucking hell, it's so funny. Oh, whatever happens, we will finish. But yeah, look, Spurs. Don't chat to me. Spurs. Ugh. Ooh. Brother. Ooh. It's so annoying that they're they finished fourth in the Champions League. That should have been us. I was sat there last night watching the fucking results, and I was like, that should have been us. In this Champions League this season, United would have been okay. Oh, God. That should have been us, man. That should have been us. In this formation, does give us more strength in depth now. I want Brian left wing and Ahmad right wing and Sesko striker and bring Cunha on against Fulham. Do you know something? What I'm about to say will annoy some of you, but I've been waiting for this. I have been waiting for this since the start of the season, right? And now that we play the formation we do, let me bring up FootMob. And I'll show you what I've been waiting for. Okay? I'll show you what I've been waiting for. Let me share the screen. Can I share this one instead? Share this tab. Yep. Sound. Don't worry about the rest of the team. I'll show you what I've been waiting for. Let me just push the button. Right. I have been waiting for this. I've been mentioning this by the way for a long time. Fulham, I would actually be happy to see this. Let me get rid of that comment a second, Jamie. I'll come back to that, mate. Don't worry. I have been craving this. I have been begging for this. I've been waiting for a formation like this. I've been waiting for this, guys. I think that looks sexy, okay? That I want to take to dinner. That I want to take to the movies. I'll pay for the popcorn. I'll pay for the slushies, okay? I'll pay for the taxi home. I'll buy them chocolates. I'll buy them flowers. Yeah? I'll buy them a nice card. That is what I need to see. That is sexy. There is so much you can do with that formation like that. Dorgu, absolutely gutted he's gone. But at the moment, let's see if we can see this. Bruno passing to Sesko. Brian and Cunha bombing up and down those wings. Brian, by the way, has done fantastic up front. I will say that. That looks gorgeous. Let me just hang on a second. Oh yeah. Let me just. God, I'm getting a bit too saucy with that. Look at that. Look. I mean, look. Just hang it on the Louvre. It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. That looks stunning. Will we see that? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. I'm just wondering how many changes Carrick will make for the Fulham game. There will be changes. The other thing to remember, actually, United fans, is he's going to have to... Let me just share this again. Hang on a minute. Let me bring this back in. I'll bring the fixtures back in. Because as much as we are being reminded United have only got one game a week, Fulham. Have you ever realised that saying Fulham really quickly sounds like you're saying film in Irish? Fulham. So there's any Irish people in here, I promise you, I'm not ripping you. I'm just mean Fulham. I'm off to watch a Fulham. That is mad. That is mad. Anyway, back to it. I've lost my trail of thought there. I can't say the fucking name now. Manchester United and Fulham. The week after, it's Manchester United and Spurs. Then on the Tuesday, at 8:15, West Ham away. So there is going to be formation changes. We need De Ligt back before we play those games in quick succession, because that is, let's face it, that's the last time I think. Let me go into March. Oh no, we got a Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday there. Okay, so we've got a few there. But there's not really any major... That's going to be the only hectic thing that Manchester United have for the rest of the season. Let me just remove that a second. Johnny, good to see you, mate. He says, run me a routine 2-0, 3-1. On another note, how did INEOS have the balls to run PR for an Ndidi deal? Honestly, absolutely ridiculous. Let me just check, because there was stuff coming out about this today. Let me just check and see if there's anything else coming from that. I can't see anything. There's nothing major coming through. There's nothing major. We can relax a little bit. We can relax ourselves. Let's have a look. No, there's nothing. Is Ndidi playing tonight, actually? Is Ndidi playing? Are Besiktas playing? Let's have a look. Let's have a wee look. Porto are 2-1 up against Rangers. I just need to see this. Let me just have a look. Let's see if he's playing. Chat, let me know. Is he playing tonight? Is he playing? Is he playing? Let's have a look. Maybe he's not. Don't know where I've got that from all of a sudden. Is he playing? No. I don't know where the fuck I've got that from, guys. Look, a broken clock's right twice a day, isn't it? I don't know where I was going off on a tangent with that one. Going off on an absolute tangent with that one. 82% of you are worried about Fulham away. Fulham at home. Fulham. Fucking Fulham. Fucking Fulham. Want to go watch a... Danielle? Do you want to watch a Fulham? Do you want to watch a Fulham? Do you want to watch a Fulham? She just said, do I want to watch a film? Doesn't Fulham... Say Fulham really quickly. No, I don't sound like a Geordie. I sound like an Irish person. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Yeah. I am on a stream. They know who you are. It's good they hear your voice, actually, because I'm starting to worry that they think I'm Ed Gein and that you're imaginary in the bloody bedroom as a corpse. Mother will see this. Don't matter, just seeing Fulham. There we go. Fulham. I've got to stop saying it. I can't wait to hear the Champions League theme tune being played around OT. That tune is something we've been waiting to hear for a while. It absolutely is, by the way. By the way. The champions! I tried to get that tune for the wedding day with Mrs. Robinson, and I was told absolutely not. I was told absolutely not. I was watching the Benfica game right at the end when the keeper scored that header. I mean, that's why we love football, Carl. That's why we love football, mate. Johnny says, to be fair, it seems like Carrick sees Mbeumo as a striker, so wouldn't be surprised if it's Cunha left wing, Ahmad right wing, and Mbeumo up front, which is what I wanted anyway. Absolutely fine. It will be that switch to Sesko that confuses Silva and shows Michael's a genius. Yeah, it's a good point. If we've stuck to Amrim's formation for the City and Arsenal games, yeah, we'd have been beat. We'd have been smashed. And that's the front four Carl says he likes. It's a great formation. I do have these ideas, guys. Strong formations. Simon, love that, mate. Ahmad is a must start. Matthias gets too bogged down. Look, again, it was... I don't want you thinking I want Ahmad dropped, but what I am saying is that looked... I've got to put this scissors down. That looks sexy, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and say Ahmad's been rubbish, and Ahmad deserves... At this point, Michael Carrick is in control. Of course he is. And after the two performances against Man City and Arsenal, I will absolutely back what he says, like he cares. He's not going to be sat there going, Dan Robinson from Telford is not backing me. I'm furious. Johnny says, the main positive, though, is now that the criminal has gone from my club, we can look at our attack and say we have options. Music to my ears. Fulham sounds like having pint glasses in a pub and saying... And you say Fulham up. Fulham up. How many things can you make with Fulham? The Villa game will be tough. I can feel a draw in that game. When have we got Villa? Is Villa at the end of... Oh, Villa's in March. That's a March problem. Only teams I worry about now is Villa and Newcastle in the fixtures and Liverpool at home. Now that's always a tough one, isn't it? Watch the Fulham up the Shankill Road. With Holland at the helm, we can turn OT into a fortress again. Absolutely. You've allowed him too many sweeties today, Mrs. Robinson. And Villa playing tonight, and they are 1-0 down, says Simon. Keep Ugarte on the bench at the nearest bus station. Guys, I've enjoyed tonight. Do you know what? I was only going to come on for 10, 15 minutes because, again, I can't wait for us to have European football so we can do this properly. Okay? Instead of getting to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and going, good game at the weekend. We've got a good game coming this weekend. I can't wait for us to have more to talk about next season. We absolutely will. But look, thank you very much for sticking with tonight. You are all absolute legends, every fucking one of you. I adore, I love, j'adore each and every one of you. Thank you very much for sticking with as always. We broke 1,410 subscribers, which is brilliant. We seem to be having a bit of an uplift here. That is only because of everybody here and what you do and keep coming back and keep sharing and keep just commenting. It's brilliant. So thank you very much from here, for each and every one of you, you superstars. I will see you all tomorrow night for the preview with Kevin. Take a couple of cherry cans and ask the guy to fill them off. We'll do predictions tomorrow, Simon. Be here at 8. We'll do predictions tomorrow. Title charge, going to put it at the end of every stream and see how we go. Fucking hell. Carl, honestly. Guys, enjoy your evening. Take care of yourselves. It's Friday Eve. Smash the day tomorrow. I will see you with Kevin at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Dan United. Kev United. Mrs. R United. Brian Brigade. Ulta.